Avenue Billie Holiday Festival. And today we're going to be talking to my good friend Deborah Owens about investment strategies. Welcome, Deborah Owens. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great, and it's just such a pleasure to be able to connect, even if it's in this environment. So thank you for allowing me to participate.
Well, Deborah, tell all of our friends about what you do. You're a best-selling author, a media personality, a financial coach. There's so much I can say, but I want you to say it in your own words so people can understand why I am so excited to be with you.
Oh, well, you know what, Kelvin, what I want people to understand is that I am them, right? I am you. In that, I'm someone, even though I have I'm founder of Wealthy You, and we teach people of all incomes how to nickel and dime their way to wealth. And I'm a author of 4 books, and I spent my career in the investment industries, a good part of that in with Fidelity Investment and some other financial services companies. But the truth is, I didn't come from wealth. I am from Detroit, as you are too, Kelvin.
Yes,
Well, you've been there at any rate. You've
yes,
lived there
yes,
for a while.
yes.
And, I just had the kind of good fortune to get an opportunity in the investment industry and just really had a love for educating
Mhm.
uh, my community, because just like them, nobody probably in their family had ever invested. And so I really created Wealthy You to become that bridge and to help people understand that it's not as complex as you think. And the real key to achieving some kind of financial stability is really taking just a little bit and paying yourself first.
Okay, well, let's talk about that in the era of COVID-19. Okay, number one, as you know, some people are now saying, oh, I want to do that. I was doing it before. How can I do it now? With the way, I don't know how my finances are going from month to month. Uh, why can I even think about? And I hear all the great news about the stock market is going up and up and up. But is this a good time for me to invest? And how do I invest given where my financial situation is right
Well, that's a great question. People always ask me, when is the best time to invest? And I say, when you have the money.
now? Hmm.
And so the real key, Kelvin, what I want people to understand is that you don't have to be a wizard. You don't have to try to time the market. If you just take whatever you can afford, if it's $10 or $25, and you can just have that going into some kind of, typically I say if you're just starting out, then something like a mutual fund with a large companies in it, and you'll hear S&P 500 index funds, and those are just the largest 500 companies in the US. Then if you just take a little bit, whether it's $10, $25 a month, and put that towards something, you're going to gain momentum. And really, the market's really high. So people say, oh, well, should I invest now? And the fact is that even if the market goes down, you just continue to put a little money away. And the way you really achieve, um, you accumulate some kind of savings or investments is just really having some kind of systematic way of investing. Our parents, what they used to do is they used to put that money in envelopes, and
Hmm.
they would have, money set aside for savings. And what I want people to know, to really answer your question, is the key is not how much or when, the key is how long you do it. And so if you'll just take something consistently and put it away, it'll grow for you. And that's what
Okay.
I've seen over and over.
Now you mentioned nickel and dime. You talk about $5 and $10, $25. Well, first of all, I think in this environment, it's a good idea to save. I think we need to do it now, even though some people are saying I'm going to get to it after the pandemic is over. The reality is that if you can, it's still important to keep saving right now. And that's what I hear you saying. Let's talk about if I only have 5, 10, 15, 25, $50, $100 a month, and I still accumulate wealth. Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely. You know what? As you well know, and I'm not going to date us, Kelvin, but I'm just going to
Well,
say
with my
back in the
COVID look right
day.
now, I'm being
Yeah,
dated. I can't,
I'm just going to
nothing
say
I can
back
say
in the
about that.
day, right?
Right.
Back in the day when I started out in the investment industry, you had to have $10,000 to just invest in a mutual fund. Now you have all different kinds of ways to invest, and many companies have basically taken out off any minimum. So, you know, a big company like Fidelity, they don't have any minimum investments anymore. And so some of the apps like a Stash app is an app that many of the people in our Wealthy You community use. Robinhood, all of these companies allow you to invest as little as $10 in an individual stock and in ETFs or exchange traded funds that are just mutual funds that trade like stocks. And so I just named two. One is if you go to stashapp.com, and if you go to, I think it's Robinhood, just Google it.
Right.
You know, I say
Yes.
go to the Google machine.
Right. Right.
And, you know, you can set up an account and have $10 or $15. I've had people who started out with $10 and now have thousands of dollars, right?
Okay.
And so again, it's not how much, it's how long, but I think so much of it in our community is just accessibility. You know, like most people learn this from their family, and you know, they have somebody to kind of give them a hand up and,
Right.
you know, guide their way. And so because we didn't, you know, you may be the first in your family to invest, and in Wealthy You, we have a lot of first generation investors. And you know, so the key really is to get started and not be afraid to get started on the internet.
I want to talk about what is wealthy you, but before I do that, I have to ask you this question. A lot of people are concerned. They have some money in their 401k. See the market is going up, but it's going down. I mean, it's fluctuating. They don't know whether they should ride this pandemic out, should they take it out, or maybe forced to take it out because they need some of the savings. Uh, I'm sure you've had this question a lot. How are you helping people answer it?
Well, a couple of things. I don't want to minimize the kind of financial turbulence and strain that people are under. You know, at the same time, you're hearing about the stock market going up. What people have to understand is the stock market is not the economy.
Yes.
And that, you know, in our community, what we see, because so many of us are in what are called essential jobs, and a lot of that is in the service sector, whether it be, you know, waitresses or working in hotels. We've seen those industries, particularly hospitality, be impacted quite negatively. And so there are two things I want to address in that question that you just asked me, Kelvin. The first is we really need to be thinking about positioning ourselves and finding roles in companies that, in spite of COVID, you're going to see some growth. And so that's what I've been sharing with the Wealthy community: go where the growth is. And so what are the companies? There's companies like Amazon. You see these trucks everywhere. You know, Instacart, where people are putting together packages, people are ordering online and people are putting together packages. In fact, Amazon has had a huge expansion at BWI Airport.
Yes.
And so those are the things that I want to tell people, is that if you're feeling like your job could be in jeopardy, you're being furloughed, you might not be able to go back, then there are a lot of opportunities that are virtual, stay at home kind of jobs. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is that, you know, if you are under economic strain and you need money, the last place you want to go is that retirement account, but you might have to. And so the good thing is that in the CARE Act, you, even if you're under, before, if you were over 59 and a half, you would be penalized if you took 10% penalty. Now they've taken that away. And in addition to that, you can withdraw from your 401k, 403b, your retirement account without there being that penalty and not have to pay it back for 3 years. And then there won't be any tax penalties. So I think the real concern there, though, Kelvin, is in our community, we already have what the industry calls a lot of leakage, meaning we're
Yes.
putting money in, we're taking money out. And so what I would say, if you are in some economic strain, if you then take what you need out of that account. Like, just because you can doesn't mean you should, but maybe you've got several $1,000s in there, just take a couple of thousand out to start and see if you can address whatever your immediate needs are. And then maybe you can find another opportunity by the time that, holds you over, so that you're not taking it all out in one time. And, it's just like anything. If it's in our hand, we're going to spend it. The other thing I would say, though, for people who are concerned about their retirement savings and that account, is that, now's the time when you really know how much risk you're willing to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone, the market's going up, everybody, oh yeah, I'm just, I'm an aggressive investor. Well, now it's telling you. So the question to ask now is, okay, the market goes up and down. What amount of my portfolio am I okay having going up and down? Is it 50-50? Like, I know that this part is safe and I need to get to it. Then this other 50%, I know I got to write it out. So, that's when, in technical terms, they say your risk tolerance, but at the end of the day, what do you feel comfortable with your money going up and down? Because the reality is that we're living so much longer that we have to be willing to have some of our money at risk go up and down so that we have a little bit more in the long run. So that's really the advice that I would give.
Well, I think also right now it's important to talk about, and I thank you for letting people know that the stock market is not the economy, number one. And number one, the real economy is the economy that you feel.
That's right.
Because your economy may be different than your friend's economy. I got some white friends. Their economy is a lot better than some of my black friends' economy. Put it mildly. But that said, I think it's important to also talk about how long we should expect this pandemic experience to be. And what I'm hearing, Deborah, is that at least until the end of 2021, when we may have a vaccine that is available to most Americans, is when we will see more of the traditional economy come back, maybe. But that gives us almost a year and a half. And I think we should be planning for our experience, whether it's investing or working or new career or whatever. Look at a longer time frame. And though that in the investment world, that's not really long. But if you're right now sheltered in, you're thinking about what's going on, I think it's important to have some time horizon. What are you sharing with your
Well, what I'm sharing in the Wealthy You community really is that, we have had a fundamental reset in our economy and in our lives and in our behaviors, right? So I don't think we're ever going back to where we were pre-COVID, because there's something fundamentally that has changed in our human psyche, like our psychology. I don't think I don't care if they get a vaccine. I'm not getting on nobody's plane, train, and will barely get in my own automobile. Okay, so let's just keep that real. But
I wear my mask in my own home. You know what I mean? I don't care. I mean, by myself with my mask on. So I get it.
So I think that what we need to be looking at, okay, I equate this to how my parents felt being born in the Depression and coming into the Depression, right? They never really felt safe you know, feeling like optimistic, like everything was going to be work out. They always felt like they needed to save for a rainy day. I think fundamentally this is what we're seeing here. And so with that in mind, I think we've learned a lot of things. I think we've learned that there's so many things that we don't have control over. I think we've also learned that just like we're told to diversify our, you know, investments, we've got to diversify our income streams too. And so to that point, one of the things I've been sharing in our community is that, you know, this whole roadmap to financial success that we were given, and I mean in our community, I'm talking about Black Americans specifically, in that go to school, get a great job, a big house would get you wealth, you'll be with a company and you'll have a pension. That was the American dream. That never worked for us. Okay, so what I'm seeing in our community specifically is that we followed that roadmap, but all it left us with was with a big mortgage, right? And a lot of student loan debt and very little wealth. And so, you know, what I'm being quite frank about is the fact that we need a new wealth blueprint. And that new wealth blueprint, what is it is going to require is that us to not think about just being earners, but being owners. And when I say owners, I mean, we have to learn how to turn our income into assets, right? And so, and when I say assets, I mean assets that can create a future income stream or even a current income stream, right? And that fundamentally is a change in our mindset and how we've been taught. And so if I were to put that into practical terms, what I would say is that, you know, we can no longer think we're going to find this job that's going to take care of us in retirement. We really need to be thinking about in each role, in each opportunity, what are the assets that we can gain going in and coming out, whether it's stock options, investing in our 401ks, that sort of thing. We also need to think about entrepreneurship in a different way. Now that we have the internet, what are some of the ways that we can use technology, whether it's becoming, you know, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's selling books online, so that entrepreneurial aspect of it. And then the other thing, of course, assets would be real estate. I mean, we've spent so much time, you know, people don't understand mortgages aren't that long, right? Mortgages came into being before. And if you go into other countries, what I found really interesting is that they, like, you go to Jamaica or the West Indies and people get as much, save some money, buy, you know, build a portion of their house. They're not carrying that debt. And I think that we have bought into this whole, you know, save, you know, spend $10 to save $3, right? And so that is the mortgage, we're going to get a tax deduction. And so I think that we've got to fundamentally change the way we think about our personal economy, as you just said, Kelvin. And so that's really kind of, you know, back to answering your question, it's COVID. Hey, we've had a reset, but let's not be afraid. What I've been telling people in our community is let's see the possibilities, right, in this volatility. Where is this taking us? How is it going to fundamentally change our behavior? And if that is true, what are the types of companies that, you know, I could flourish in if I were an employee, or I could invest in if I wanted to invest in as a future growth opportunity?
Yes, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the other thing we have to wrap up is that there's so many opportunities, even in the midst of COVID right now.
Yes.
People are making money, people are investing, people are buying homes at a discount, foreclosed homes, and then there are business opportunities. But more importantly, what I've been thinking, Deborah, too, is about the fact that we're going to have to rebuild America, and specifically Black America, after COVID-19. So that means there's a whole lot of opportunity, both online, offline, digital, and in person, that we need to start preparing ourselves to take advantage of now. because no one's going to do it but us. And if we don't take advantage of those opportunities, someone else will. Deborah, give us the last word. What would you like for people to take away from our conversation, or what would you like to leave people with?
What I want to leave, what I want to leave our audience with is this: is whatever you focus on expands. And so I want our focus to be on where are we going? Where are the opportunities? Where is the growth? And then I want everyone listening to this to say, okay, so how can I position myself for that growth? Whether it be in this virtual world, what are some of the things that I can be doing right now to increase my value and how I can add value to other people? How can I create value for others? Because that's really the secret to success. You know, I've certainly seen it in our community. And so now you need to be on YouTube. You need to be learning. All of these universities have opened up their vaults, which it used to cost tens of thousands of dollars to get access to that knowledge. You need to be learning something new and teaching yourself something new every day so that you can be able to kind of navigate your way in these uncertain times, knowing that eventually, if you've done enough, if you've enhanced your skill set enough, that opportunity is going to come for you, and then you're going to be prepared, right? So what's the saying that success is when preparation meets opportunity? In our community, I want us to be prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that will certainly come.
And to that point, I think you want to also say that your human capital, this is a time to invest in your human capital.
That's right.
Your mind, your body, your spirit. And that will help you create more financial capital and help you grow and expand your investments. Deborah Owens, it's always great to see you. You know what? I got to give you another shout out for that hair, girl. That is awesome. You looking at the just the glow and the smile and everything. You've been wonderful as always.
I so appreciate that. And again, thanks so much for allowing me to kind of share some of the work that we're doing. I want to invite everyone, though, to just join our Wealthy You community on Facebook. It's completely free, right?
Thank you.
And also, I will give a link to, because I want everybody to have a copy of my Nickel and Dime Your Way to Wealth ebook, and they can have a free copy. And I'm sure you can make that link available to them.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
We'll make sure that we post it.
Okay,
thank you. But why don't you let people know what it is anyway? You're going to share us with the link, and you're giving us the website. Thank you, Deborah. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks so much.